The Chicago suburbs are home to millions of people, and there's a good reason for that. It's because they have so much to offer for families, young professionals, and everybody in between. But typically, when people think of the Chicago suburbs, a handful of towns come to mind. These are places like Naperville, Hinsdale, Winnetka, and a few others. And don't get me wrong, they're fantastic towns that offer a lot, but Chicago is home to about 100 different suburbs, and I feel as though there are several of them that definitely get overshadowed. So in this video, we're gonna go over my top 5 underrated Chicago suburbs. Make sure you watch all the way to the end, because if you're considering making a move here, then you're definitely going to want to make sure that these towns are on your list. My name is Peter and I'm a realtor here in the Chicagoland area. I've lived in the city as well as the suburbs, so if you're someone that's considering making a move here or considering selling your home here, feel free to reach out. My contact information is down below. I'm sure that my team and I can assist you. Okay, so the first suburb on the list is going to be Mount Prospect, which is a northwest suburb with just about 55,000 total population. If you're looking for a peaceful town to live in, then Mount Prospect is definitely it. The town's motto is where friendliness is a way of life, and that definitely holds true because it's such a welcoming community with crime rates well below the national average. One of the main reasons why this suburb is on my list is because of its ideal location. If you're someone that travels a lot, then you're gonna absolutely love that Mount Prospect is really close to O'Hare, which is Chicago's largest airport. It makes getting there and coming back a total breeze. Mount Prospect also offers easy access to the highway and has a metro stop in town. So if you're somebody that's going to be commuting into Chicago, for example, you have several options that can get you there and get you back pretty easily. And speaking of the downtown, while it's no Chicago, it does have a quaint downtown with shops, restaurants, and a couple entertainment options as well. It's great for walking around and for the occasional visit with friends and family. It's also undergoing a fair amount of construction, so I'm sure that over the next coming years, it'll only continue to develop. And a nice little bonus is that every Sunday during the summer, Mount Prospect holds a farmer's market where farmers from all over the Midwest will come to sell their fresh produce. It's a great way to bring the community together once a week during the summer. Okay, so let's talk about the cost of living. If you're looking to purchase a home here, know that the median home sale price is right around $380,000. Now, if you're looking for a single family home with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, that's about 1,800 square feet, you're probably looking to spend somewhere closer to about $450,000 or potentially even more depending on the home. The schools in Mount Prospect go from good to great, and you really can't go wrong regardless of where in the town that you live in. Overall, living in Mount Prospect is a great choice because it's a lot more affordable than some of the adjacent suburbs, and it still puts you in a fantastic location with a great community feel. Okay, let's move on to the second suburb, which is Palatine. Palatine is actually located just a little further northwest past Mount Prospect. And much like Mount Prospect, Palatine also gets overshadowed by some of the adjacent suburbs nearby, such as Arlington Heights, and especially recently because that's where the Chicago Bears are planning to make their move. However, Palatine features a lot of those same benefits without having to pay the high cost of living in Arlington Heights. The median sales price here is right around $330,000. And I've actually noticed that a lot of young professionals have been moving here recently because they get so much more house for what they're spending. You have options that range from condos to townhomes to single family homes, so there really is something for just about everybody. Now, much like Mount Prospect, because Palatine is just a little further northwest, you still have really easy access to the airport as well as the highway. And there are 2 really close metro stops nearby as well, which can get you in and out of the city, like I mentioned, very easily. Palatine is also close to Schaumburg, where there are lots of businesses, as well as a massive shopping district known as Woodfield Mall. That being said, Palatine also has a small, quaint downtown area with some local businesses, shops, and restaurants as well. Now, one of the major selling points to Palatine are the schools, and in particular, William Friend High School, which actually recently ranked 34th out of the top 50 high schools in the entire country. So with easy access to great amenities, a low cost of living, and great schools, Palatine absolutely needs to be on your list. The third suburb on my list is one that's actually on the southwest side. It's a small suburb called Lamont, and it's actually just about a little over 13,000 people. Now, Lamont is the perfect suburb for somebody that's an outdoor enthusiast. For starters, it's located on the west end of one of the region's largest nature preserves. It's called Cap Sowers Holding, and it has fantastic views. It's beautiful with lots of great hiking trails. You also have access to really long bike trails with the Des Plaines Trail as well as the Cal-Sag Trail. So if you're someone that likes biking, you'll have plenty of options here. Lamont also has easy access to a lot of golf courses, and it's also home to the country's largest outdoor park. It's called The Forge, and it's actually really, really awesome. I took some friends there recently and we had a ton of fun. There's rock climbing, zip lining, dirt biking. It's a great place to go and definitely worth checking out. Of course, like the other suburbs on this list, location is very important. Here you also have easy access to airports as well as freeways. Now, Lamont's downtown is really unique because the topography in the town is actually kind of hilly. So you'll have a downtown area that's close to the river, and then to get to some of the neighborhoods, you'll actually have to drive over some hills. And it actually kind of gives it a cool feel that the other suburbs don't necessarily have because they're so flat. The median sales price here is a little bit on the higher end at $420,000, which brings us closer to the national average. You have a lot of options here for housing as well, such as condos and townhomes, which are a little closer to the downtown. There's good-sized single-family homes and even high-end luxury homes in some gated communities. Lamont is also located next to several other suburbs that have a lot to offer, meaning that you can find most things and get to most things within just a 10 to 15 minute drive. Overall, I find that Lamont does not get the attention that it deserves. It's a great suburb that has a lot to offer, and it absolutely needs to be on your list if you're considering the Chicagoland area. The fourth suburb on my list is going to be Bartlett. It's a west side suburb with just around 40,000 people, and it actually spreads over 3 total counties, which is DuPage, Cook, and Kane. Bartlett sort of feels like the West Side's best kept secret because while it doesn't necessarily excel in any one category, it does everything very, very well. For example, you have a fantastic school system, a crime rate that's 82% below the national average, a metro stop downtown, and a median home sales price right around $396,000. The type of housing that you'll find here are going to be mostly single-family homes with some townhomes as well. And while it doesn't have as much outdoor activities to offer as Lamont does, there are plenty of biking trails, hiking trails, and golf courses to explore here too. Now, I'd say the area where Bartlett is lacking the most is the downtown definitely feels a little bit on the lacking side. However, because of where Bartlett is located, where it's close to Schaumburg as well as St. Charles, if you want more of an active shopping or dining district, those are very close and easy to access. So again, while Bartlett doesn't necessarily excel in any one place, it's fantastic for families because it just has everything that you could possibly need. Okay, and the last suburb that I feel is among the most underrated is going to be Lombard, which is in DuPage County on the west side with a population right around 45,000 people. Like all the other suburbs before it, it's got great schools, easy access to highways, airports, the city, train stops, as well as a low crime rating. Now, the main reason that people love to live in Lombard is because it has so much amenities to offer. In Lombard, you have the Yorktown Center, which, don't get me wrong, isn't the biggest and busiest mall in the region, but it does offer a nice convenient place to go shopping. You also have a great downtown area with some great restaurants, shops, breweries, and one place in particular that I have to mention called Gnarly Knots, which has by far the best pretzels that I've ever had. And that's true because every time I've gone there, there's been a really, really long line that leads outside the door and around the corner, even on days where it's snowing. Yep, I'm serious. If you're ever in Lombard, check them out. Totally worth the wait. Lombard also has a terrific park district that's actually not too far from the downtown as well. It offers great activities and clubs for younger children, and it offers a great pool and massive park to explore. It's also worth mentioning that Lombard is frequently known as the Lilac Village, and that's because it's home to a large lilac park that's open year-round. It also hosts an annual lilac parade as well as many other events throughout the year, so it's definitely worth checking out. The median home sales price here is right around $350,000, and considering all the access you have to amenities as well as all the other bonuses I've already mentioned, you get a ton of value here in Lombard. It's a great middle-of-the-road suburb that's very inviting without being too expensive. And there you have it. Those are my 5 most underrated Chicago suburbs. If there's one that you feel strongly that I missed, definitely let me know in the comments below. And if you're considering learning more about the Chicagoland area, about Chicago real estate, suburbs, and neighborhoods, then feel free to check out the rest of this channel where I have a lot of content on those topics. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.